So I'm looking a bit windswept and dishevelled this morning. Just finished a bit of a walk and some conditioning with the dog. It's the 13th of July 2026 and poignant day for me and partner, my son, because 2 years ago today we lost our unborn daughter, and sort of marks one of those dates in the year that just comes around and gives you time to reflect. And I thought I'd use it to try and be a little bit positive and think about the way my year has panned out and the episodes that I've gone through in terms of my poker journey, but also makes you realise that there are so many things that are much greater and more important than poker. So a little bit later today we'll be going down and visiting a little memorial that we have by the River Mole in Leatherhead, just to wish this little one all the best, give her our love. Beam me up, little one. The first episode ran from January to the end of May, when I had a short holiday, but it was all really around me completing the Hungry Horse Bootcamp in January. That was a 28-day intensive training program, 3 hours a day, lots of direct involvement, discussion, developing a repeatable thought process, understanding about ranging opponents, asking what if questions, and looking for inverse questions to help to decide what size bets we're going to use, whether or not we've got a bluff line or whether or not we've got a value betting line. This is also backed up by a whole bunch of ongoing lectures, theme discussions, interactions, Discord groups. So it wasn't just a one and done, and this is continuing still to the current day, and I'll mention something about that in a minute. And then it was up to me to actually go out and take some of that new knowledge, that technique, understanding about exploitation of different player types, and put it into practice in a live environment. And that's when I really started to up my hours, put in more and more hours, and help to connect that technical improvement with real live playing experience. And that episode went to the end of May. The second episode started in June, when I got to meet some of you guys when I started the vlog after my short holiday, and that in itself has been a really great experience for me. I've learned a huge amount about doing that, what it takes to actually put something on YouTube and how to make the connections behind the scenes and things like that, and hopefully you see some improvement in the presentation and the quality of what I'm doing. And if not, please feel free to give some feedback and comments. That'd be really appreciated. And I also realized that I had to put in lots of hours whilst doing that, because during this second phase from June until the end of August, we have this week quite a transition occurring. So my son finishes his school term towards the end of this week, and in relation to the way that my work-life balance operates, I will be doing the majority of the sort of daytime interaction with him over the holiday period, childcare, looking forward to it, thoroughly looking forward to it. And then I'll be sort of sharing responsibilities with my partner. I'll probably have to reduce the number of hours that I have been playing over the summer holidays until the end of August. Probably playing one day during the week, maybe the odd weekends, maybe a couple of evenings. But that also coincides with the release of the Hungry Horse Stable 2.0. So the guys from Hungry Horse have actually been updating, revising, augmenting, improving the material that's available to the stable members like myself. And they are changing the background sort of strategy information, some of the default stuff. It's been updated. It's looking at different stack sizes, tweaks, different bluff lines, all that sort of stuff. But also they are launching these interactive breakout rooms for coaching sessions. And the first one I've actually got is this evening at 11 o'clock in UK. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to that. I've seen a demo and it's really interactive. You get a group of people in the room and you can see what everyone else is doing. And there's a bit of a leaderboard that goes on. Can't obviously give you too many details, but it looks a fantastic tool. So I'm looking forward to that. And then that will help to sort of give me a rebaselining as we go towards the end of the summer, until such time when the young lad then goes back to school at the beginning of September-ish. We then move into episode 3 of this year. So episode 3 will commence in September and go on really to the end of November. There'll be a bit of stuff in and around Christmas, but I think that's a bit of time to, again, reflect and some family time and play some bits and pieces of poker. And what I'm going to do after talking to a number of different people is I'm actually going to commit to do 3 months basically at the Empire Casino in order to get into the cash races. So that will cover September, October and November months. I think I'll be able to do 70 odd hours in each of those months, which should qualify me into the top 50 places. And with a bit of rough calculation, those 70 hours relates to about £700 worth or so of rake each month. And the way the cash race actually operates, if you do get into the top 15, you actually will get that rake back at least, notwithstanding how well you do. If you actually do better, if you get in the top 8 or so, then the prize money actually increases. So I think that the view is that really I should try to commit to that and actually get some returns on the rake, use the opportunity that I'm actually paying every month to play at the casino. And I think it's a very, very sensible idea. So I'm going to be committing to do that for those 3 months, and it will be a lot of volume, and then get into that sort of whole sort of cycle, that whole structured way of being that professional poker player for those 3 months committed. And that's how the 3 episodes should be panning out by the time we get to the end of the year. And there'll be updates as we go.